Hello YouTubers, Doom 143, and I got a brand new haul for you. And in this haul, I got my personal grail. That's right. Here we go. Oh, God, dang it. Alex does this. How come Alex does his thing, and then he goes like that, and then the thing happens. All right, I'll try it again. Hello YouTubers, Doom 143, and I'm here with a brand new haul. And in this haul, I got my new personal grail. All right, here we go. Yeah. Dang it, never mind. I'll just do my own.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
Alright, this is New Mutants number 8, first appearance of Surge, supposedly the girl with the whips in the Deadpool 2 trailer. Hello YouTubers, Doom143, how's it going? How's everyone doing out there? So yeah, that comic that I just showed you, that's New Mutants number 8. So that's kind of a hot book right now. That new Deadpool 2 trailer just came out. You saw that mutant with that electrical whip. Um, they haven't made an announcement that that was Surge, but everybody's speculating that's Surge. So that book right now is getting really hot. You can easily flip one for 35 to 40 something dollars. It's going kind of cuckoo. Staying on the same path, I guess, as speculation wise. Well, not really speculation. Actually, it came out. Hasbro and ROM has decided to come out with a movie. I guess it was just announced this past week. So get your ROM number ones out. It's definitely bumped up in value. I have to thank Alfred 83 Comics for gifting me this book here. And the cool thing about it is that this book is a direct edition. I think this, I'm not too sure what year this is, but I know it's before 85. And so the print run on this particular one here, you could tell because of the slash through the barcode that it was an early direct edition. Might be like 79 or 80. I could be wrong. I didn't check the date, but definitely a lower print run. So if you're going for those ROM number ones, try to find the barcodes with the slash through, because those will have definitely a lower print run. So yeah, just kind of wanted to start it off with that right now. I've been actually really active, not so much on YouTube. Sorry about that. I've actually been watching a lot of videos. Haven't been able to make comments because I've been watching a lot of YouTube on the TV, and it doesn't really allow you to comment, or at least I don't know how to do that. So a lot of great stuff happening out in the YouTube comic community, so that's really exciting. One of the exciting things is that Alex the Comic Hoarder is having an auction this Saturday. I think it's going to be on his channel, so if you're not subscribed to Alex the Comic Hoarder, which I highly doubt it, but I will leave a link to Alex. As far as Alex goes, I know all of his comics start at 99 cents, and all of it is always free shipping. So Alex is a great guy. The auctions are usually pretty fun, and I wish I could be a part of it. I'm off on Sunday. I'm not off on Saturday, but also know Sunday is April Fool's, but I know it's also Easter Sunday as well. So, so nobody really should be doing an auction anyway on that day. All right, let's just get into the books. Don't really have anything crazy, but I did get my personal grail, which I want to show, but I'll show that at the end because super stoked. Been active on Instagram. Got to really meet a lot of great people. One of them is Key Comic Books Hunter 23. He just gifted this book to me and today actually. I saw that he had multiple copies, and I just kind of just told him congratulations and all of that stuff. And he kind of DM'd me, asked me if I was interested in getting one. I was like, sure, let me know how much. And he said, nah, don't worry about it. So super stoked. This is Spider-Man 796 variant. This is the comic exposure variant. This is actually the very first time that we see Red Goblin illustrated. So this is, in all technicalities, his first appearance. Now he's not in the story, but he's right there in the cover. Somehow Comic Exposure's got got the okay to release the Red Goblin about 4 issues before it was supposed to be released. I don't know, maybe 3 issues before. So there we go, Spider-Man 796. Cannot thank Comic Book Hunter 23 enough. Super stoked on this. Clayton Crane too, so great cover. Also on Instagram, Adamantium 559 actually had a sale going on, and I took advantage of it because all the prices were like really awesome. So he had this Vengeance #1, first appearance of America Chavez. He had this blimp up as well. This is one of those, gamer comics done by Marvel that's, for those people that are in the comic community, collects comics, but they also like to collect games. This is just one of those comics that, people kind of sought after and they go after. It's it's just one of those comics that, people try to get, and I'm just glad I added it to the collection as well. Had to pick this up just because it's Stan Lee. Super stoked at having that one. Another one of those books that, you as a hunter, you kind of try to find these things out in the wild. Always fun to find books like that. He had the Scarlet #1. It's not the variant, but definitely stoked in having that. I've been wanting this book for a while. I don't know if they're still doing the movie on this, or it's still doing the Showtime or TV series. I don't know what's the scoop on that one, but I know there's something supposed to be coming up for Scarlet 1, so definitely had to pick that one up as well. This was actually really cool. He was selling New Mutants 14, first appearance of Magic. So he was selling this, and I think he had maybe he did have 2 copies. And I was all like, hey, I'll take the New Mutants 14, just give me whatever's the best condition, and I'll just pay whatever's. And he was nice enough, he just said, you know what, I'll just give you both. So he gave me actually 2 copies. But when I got into 2 copies, I actually looked at it really well. And what struck me was that, and I'm not going to call this a printing error, but some people might, is that if you look at the 2, the colors are very different. The villain itself is definitely darker blue on one, purple on the other. You can look at Wolfsbane being brown there and being like this darkish green on this side. So of course, and then you also can see how it's really light on the blue up here, and it's really there's a very dark blue up there. So I kind of hit up Master X because he's really good. Master X Splinter, or aka Master Flex. I kind of hit him up. I was like, hey, do you know anything about an error on the New Mutants 14? He was just stating that it was probably just a changing of ink and stuff like that. But I don't know, what really gets me is definitely the colors here: blue, that purple, and then this one, the brown and the green stuff. I don't know, maybe something to look after. I'm not saying it's an error, but it's definitely something interesting that I found. And again, I have to thank Adamantium 559. I actually joked around with him. I was like, he packed it so well that I don't even think Adamantium can even get through the damn package. Alright. Web of Spider-Man 97. This is the first appearance of Kevin Trench, who later becomes Nightwatch. So supposedly Spike Lee is producing a movie based on Nightwatch, and I guess it's got a Spawn kind of a feel to it, but this isn't the first appearance of Nightwatch. It's actually the first appearance of Kevin Trench, the guy who becomes Nightwatch. There's been some talks in the community as far as like as the community and the collecting circle, as far as like, why is this book going for money and not I think it's 99 or 100. Why is this the book everybody's chasing? My personal opinion is that it's kind of like the first appearance of Carol Danvers versus the first appearance of Carol Danvers as Miss Marvel, kind of a deal. So I don't know, that's my 2 cents as far as this character goes. But yeah, so I went to Ideas. It's like a used book, used records, and older comics, kind of a store. I checked them out. Wanted to pick some books out. I actually found that New Mutants 8 that you saw. The reason I'm not showing it is because, yeah, I flipped it. I bought it for $2. Somebody bought it for 35. So, hey, you know, make some money to buy some other books, I guess. And but yeah, I actually found one, two, three copies of Web of Spider-Man '97. This one, lucky enough for me, was a newsstand, and I actually found two direct editions. So I found three of these. I actually got one of these going to an Instagrammer, but yeah, I was super stoked to find them. I found them for like $1.50. These books are selling around $17 to $20 on a good day, maybe 25. But yeah, Spike Lee, and I don't know what I'm saying. Ideas, that's what I'm getting at. So at Ideas, I also found this book there as well. Action Comics 5.95. Sorry about that glare. That sucks. 5.95. First appearance of Silver Banshee. Also found the Space Ghost #1. I don't know. I used to watch this cartoon all the time, so I just thought I just had to pick it up. Doesn't really go for much. It's kind of like all over. Some people are asking for 5, some people are asking for like 50. It's kind of like all over the place. But I used to watch this cartoon all the time as a kid, so definitely had to pick it up. What I was really stoked on finding though, at Ideas, was a bunch of Dave Stevens stuff. So I'm not sure how to pronounce this. Chevanor? I don't know. But I'm not even going to try that again. But I found this one right here, this Dave Stevens. I've been a huge Dave Stevens fan now, I would say, for the past 7 or 8 months, ever since my friend who actually owns a part of that comic shop, Kevin, he actually he introduced me to Dave Stevens, and ever since then I just been kind of on the whole Dave Stevens kick. So whenever I can find him, especially for cheap. Actually, most of Dave Stevens stuff doesn't even really go for that much money, but it's always nice to find them. I was just joking around. It's like the Adam Hughes before Adam Hughes. So this is a Twisted Tales. I want to say this is #1, and I found an Alien Worlds #4. So those are the books I found at Ideas. Just some really cool back issue stuff and some Dave Stevens books. So really stoked on finding all of that. Went to another comic book shop. Did some digging. So, like I said, I've been watching a lot of YouTube, and you guys got me to buy this book. It's not that I'm not an Art Germ fan. I definitely am, but really had no interest in picking it up. But yeah, I kept seeing it on everybody's vids, and I think I reached out to somebody. I was all like, when did they start using the word variant instead of just having a cover B? Because I started to notice they actually start to use the actual word variant in this, right, I think right over there. And I think somebody said they started using the word variant as soon as they started changing the logo. So I just thought it was kind of something interesting that DC was doing. So, but yeah, Art Germ, love that cover. Beautiful, beautiful cover. And of course, with this week well, not this week. What was it, last week or the week before? I had to pick up the Addy Granoff Infinity Countdown #1. I didn't grab the Virgin variant, which is like super sick, but I did grab what I could find at the comic shop, and I found found 4 of them. So all cover price. I figured, why not? I really actually love this cover. This is probably one of the most beautiful Captain Marvel covers that I've seen in a while, and just as soon as I saw it, I knew I had to pick it up. If you follow Addy Granoff on Instagram, you could actually follow his process of actually him doing this particular artwork here. And you know, this whole time I really thought everything that Addy Granoff does was digital, but it was kind of cool to see that this was actually combination of pencils and paint and spray paint, and it's just, God, it's beautiful. Like, it's amazing what these artists can do. It's definitely amazing what these artists can do these days. And yeah, this whole time I thought it was digital. It wasn't even digital. Found this. This is kind of an interesting book. I have to thank Bad Avenger, YouTuber. If you guys don't know who he is, he's a comic book YouTuber. I'm pretty sure everybody knows who Bad Avenger is. He's actually, I guess, one of the newer guys, but he's definitely got his game on strong. So yeah, thank you, Bad Avenger, for this one. He didn't really point out what I'm about to show you, but what he did point out is that this is the first appearance of the Leagues of Future Children. This is basically the kids of all the super. They don't really come into play. Now, I know a lot of people like to say, well, actually I say it too, that I like to speculate, but a lot of times I don't really speculate, to be quite honest. I think sometimes I use that word a little too easily because it seems like the word that fits the most. But usually what I try to do is if I show a comic on YouTube, it's usually something that's already been confirmed, such as the ROM book. Number one is a good example. I usually try to find those books and I put it on YouTube just so I can share it with you guys, just in case you guys maybe missed the information. But this one I'm gonna go ahead and speculate along with Bad Avenger because I actually like it. Something that might not hit, till down the road, but if these kids actually, become anything later on down the future or down the road, I mean, of great significance, not just like little parts here and there. I think finding the newsstand of this, and that's what this is, finding a newsstand I think is definitely going to be beneficial because DC has definitely cut down their newsstands to, and I think it's 1% of the actual run. So if this run has 15,000, then there's only 150 of these books. So yeah, definitely wanted to pick this one up. Super stoked. Thank you, Bad Avenger, for showing me that book. Some other stuff I found in back issue bins while I was hunting at the comic shop. Found this Masters of the Universe #1. I just picked it up just because of Masters of the Universe. It has like this little reflective, I don't know what they call it, foiling going on the top, but I know Masters of the Universe sorry, is coming out. They're definitely making that movie. Super stoked about that. Very excited. Saw some of the artwork for the potential villains on that, and it looks like it's going to be really fun. So super stoked on that. But yeah, Master Universe #1. This is actually a variant. It's actually a wraparound too. Found this beautiful Black Panther #18, Michael Turner. Just a gorgeous cover. I'm not the biggest Michael Turner fan, to be quite honest. Sorry. But yeah, I was never really the biggest Michael Turner fan, but I can definitely appreciate this Black Panther. I don't know if it's because of the I think it's the background really makes this comic, and yeah, just super stoked to have this one in my collection. Found this on eBay for like 25 bucks. Could not believe it. This is usually easily, once it's slabbed, it's usually around a $200, $300, $400 book. So to find it raw for 25 bucks in a beautiful near mint condition, I could not complain at all. This is definitely the best Namor cover that I own. It might even be the best Namor cover around. Debated. I'm sure there's some better ones out there. Oddly enough, speaking of Instagram, this is actually one of the prizes I'm giving out. I just made 500 followers on Instagram and decided to do a little contest. And this is actually one of the prizes I decided to give out, just because I know the value of this book is higher than what I got it for. And I'm sure people in the Instagram comic community would actually appreciate that. So if you're on Instagram and you follow me, go ahead and enter the contest. It ends on April 1st. This is another one I found. I couldn't believe I found this one for cheap. This is definitely my favorite Thunderbolts cover. 110. I actually have this, but not in this condition. So I found a nicer book, nicer Thunderbolts 110. It's probably one of the sicker Venoms out there, and I actually found it for cheaper. So yeah, super. I mean, look at that cover. It's just it's just freaking awesome. Love having this thing. Also picked this one up today too. Venomverse #2 of 5. Just another variant. I'm a sucker for superheroes, villains in the rain, and all that stuff. And yeah, had to pick this one up. So pretty simple. Kind of reminds me of the X23 #1 Delato, but yeah, I'm a sucker for a villain in the rain, so had to pick that one up. Here's a really hard to find book. It's not easy finding this one at all. So this is All Hell Megatron, number 16. This is the final issue, obviously, final issue. And it's the variant, and it has that end of summer swipe. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, please, if you don't do anything else, please treat yourself to viewing the end of summer if you haven't seen it, and watch the first one. There's end of summer 1 and end of summer 2. Number 2 is okay, but end of summer 1, I want to say it was filmed, I want to say in the 60s, or it's probably 70s or 80s. To be quite honest, I'm not too sure. It is definitely one of the most classic surfing documentaries out there, and it's just awesome. So if you have never seen the end of summer movie, please by all means treat yourself. Whether you have any type of feelings for surfing, whether you like it, you hate the, you don't go, you've never even seen the ocean, treat yourself. Find a way to find that video and watch it end of summer. You will not be disappointed. It's definitely always spoken to me as a surfer myself. It's always spoken to me even to this day, even though the footage is really old and choppy. Definitely one of the best documentaries. So I had to pick this cover up. Super stoked on that. I found another copy. Found another one of these copies. Jesus, talking like Yoda, talking all backwards now. Let me just fix this real quick. But I found myself another copy of that Adam Hughes that I just was showing, this X Babes. Apparently, the first time I showed this, I didn't realize how much this book was going for. People are asking like $60 for this thing, and it's kind of crazy. It's definitely an early Adam Hughes work. It kind of has that X23 vibe up there in the front, and yeah, it's just actually it's just a spoof comic, but I just bought it just for the Adam Hughes, and I didn't know while I was going through eBay. I kind of just checked it out to see where it was going at, and it's actually going for a little bit. So if you ever find this, especially on the cheap, and you're a huge Adam Hughes fan, or you're Adam Hughes completist, this is definitely one of the books you want to look after. Just so you know, it's not called X Babes number 6. I think it's called Spoof Comics number 6. So just FYI. And this book right here. So this is just something interesting. So this is Spider-Man 359. The interesting thing about this book is I heard about it on CBSI, and I'm just kind of one of those suckers for books just like this. Okay, so what is this book? So one of the big things I've started to notice, and I'm sure it's been going around for a while, but one of the big things I started to notice is that the community, the collecting community, is not, I don't want to use the word confused, but is trying to find things that predates the actual first appearances. So we all know that Carnage first appearance is Spider-Man 361. So the interesting thing about this, Spider-Man 359, and I think another YouTuber talked to me about this. Excuse me if you hear the noise. I'm actually going to open up the Mylar, let the comic breathe for a little bit. So the interesting thing about this comic right here is that you can see, there you go. So you have Carnage right there on the last page, Amazing Spider-Man 359. Anyway, just thought I'd show you that. There you go. So this is predates Spider-Man 361, first appearance of Carnage, and this is Spider-Man 359. So yeah, whatever's. All right. So now the last book. Man. So for the people that know me personally, and maybe even some people on YouTube, I'm just gonna leave this here for a little bit. You guys probably know I'm a huge Eminem fan. Ever since the first time I heard him, I was all like, like, who is this? Who's this new artist? And so it was just pretty much just riding the Eminem train ever since the very first time that I heard him. I was on the radio when people were still listening to the radio, and yeah, and he's actually his music, not himself, but his music has really, really, really helped me out through kind of bad times. I kind of use his anger in his music to kind of help me relieve my stress. Granted, some of his earlier stuff is really way out there, and at his last CD, I gotta admit, it's not the best. Like the last one that just came out, it wasn't the best one. But just his music in general, so many of it. The movie 8 Mile was just freaking awesome, inspirational. Just so many great music. And so there's been this comic that I've been trying to search for, and here it is. And I have been wanting this bad boy, oh my god, for the longest time. I don't even think I've actually even said this, but Eminem is actually the reason I even got back into comics. There was an issue of Mighty Avengers. Sorry if I forget the number, but I was following Eminem on Facebook. I don't do Facebook anymore, but he just made this announcement that he has this comic coming out. I instantly ran to the comic shop, and this is when I wasn't even collecting. I want to say it's 2014, maybe 15. I ran to the comic shop. I said, "Do you have this?" I honestly only wanted to buy it strictly for the Eminem. Sorry, I went into the comic shop strictly for the Eminem comic. They said they had it. I bought it, and I started to look around again, looking around at the comic shops, and I'm like, oh, I remember this. I remember collecting comics and all that stuff. So that's basically what got me back into it. This book literally is a freaking ghost. This thing is super hard to find. I know. Oh, I'm drawing a blank right now. There's another YouTuber who has 2 slabs, and I'm gonna kick myself in the balls for forgetting his name. God damn, I feel so bad. But I've always been jealous at the fact that he always had 2 of these and I had none. And yeah, I've been just trying to find this bad boy forever. Finally, one popped up on eBay. I didn't even care about the price. I just went straight to the buy it now price, and I was just ecstatic. I was so happy. This is literally my personal grail. My AF-15 doesn't matter. Fantastic Four 1s doesn't matter. Hulk 81s. I know it's kind of crazy to hear that, with all of these books. Werewolf by Night. I don't care. All of these books that I have, none of it matters. This has been the grail that I've always been searching. But check this out. The next following week, another one pops up. So, for what, 3-4 years, I don't know, I couldn't even find one, and then like within 2 weeks I find 2. So like super stoked. But yeah, that's pretty much about it. And this was kind of a rambling haul. Just wanted to get out of the way, and it's pretty much about it. Don't forget, Alex the Comic Hoarder has a auction this Saturday. I want to thank our partners for the 9.2 crew, 789comics.com. Use the discount code 9.2 crew. LucaJackets.com. Awesome leather jackets that you can use for cosplaying or just to take to a con. They also have a discount code 9.2 crew, and definitely our other partners such as Jetpack Comics. All right, that's pretty much about it. That's the haul. As always, shoots and mahalos.